Multilateral institutions, however, are ill-equipped to deal with the current challenges, as demonstrated by the Security Council's unacceptable paralysis in relation to ongoing conflicts. This state of inaction directly implies the loss of innocent lives.
For some analysis, we're joined by David Monyae from Johannesburg in South Africa. He's a professor of political science and international relations. Thank you, Professor, for being with us on the program. Now, Brazil's foreign minister, as we heard there, says organizations like the UN have somewhat failed in serving its purpose. Do you think that the UN needs to be reformed, particularly the veto power system?
Oh, indeed. And if we look at the entire United Nations system, since 1945, it has been led by the US and Western world. I think in 2024, there is a need to broaden, to give the entire UN system more legitimacy, to ensure that there is inclusiveness, having more countries from Asia, Africa, as well as Latin America be part to that, particularly the entire United Nations Security Council need to be extended, as suggested by countries in the global south, that at least more countries, and the African Union in particular, has requested for 2 permanent members, as well as 5 non-permanent to be included in this equation.
There has also been a lot of criticism from Western diplomats towards Russia for its war in Ukraine, but we didn't see the same reactions when the topic at hand was Gaza. And there is a stark difference of innocent lives killed between the two conflicts. Is there a double standard here?
Indeed, I think the Western countries do not see lives as equal. They tend to see lives in Ukraine as more important as compared to the ones in Palestine. And the kind of killing, a genocide that is taking place right now, to even talk about Ukraine, it's becoming a huge problem that there isn't much attention, there isn't much way of stopping the war and ensure that those who are in the wrong could be sanctions, as they did with Russia on Ukraine. And these double standards cannot continue, and therefore it undermines the entire United Nations system going forward.
Well, we did hear from the Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan call for an urgent ceasefire in Gaza and a 2-state solution. And apparently he also discussed steps to achieve a ceasefire and get more aid into the enclave with his counterparts during the meeting. Do you think that this might lead to a breakthrough at all?
In the short term, I doubt very much, as the United States continues to veto anything brought into United Nations Security Council. I think there is a golden opportunity for South Africa, since it's the country that has taken Israel to ICJ, to really take the entire matter to United Nations General Assembly for voting. I think this is much more for moral and ensure that Israel, if it doesn't abide by the ruling and stop the genocide, it should be expelled from United Nations General Assembly. This has happened in the past, our own country, South Africa. In 1975, it was expelled due to apartheid. And what's taking in Israel at the moment with the Palestinian, it's a typical apartheid case. And therefore, I think we see South Africa being supported by Turkey, as well as Latin American countries, particularly Brazil.
So let me end by getting your thoughts on the ICJ case and where you think it's headed to.
The case will take much more longer, but I think the most important ruling is the ruling that has already been made, that we see a genocide taking place and that Israel should stop. And I think it will take long. I do not think that the world can wait until all the hearing. Normally take a year or 2 or 3, and we don't have that time when women and children are dying on a daily basis as we speak.
All right, Professor David Monyae, thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour and sharing that analysis with us.